I was quite confident. I thought I won that fight again. I think I've got Larry Holmes here.
He thinks Tyson Fury probably will walk away, but I can see the enticement. I can see the rubber match between him and AJ.
When you lose to Usyk, it shouldn't really mean that you need to hang him up.
No.
He's
like the
UFC
UFC model, isn't it? Like when big fighters lose all the time.
Once you start regressing.
The potential retirement of one of boxing's biggest stars has sent shock waves through the sport. Many within the boxing community view this moment as bittersweet, recognizing the legacy left behind while contemplating what the future of the heavyweight division might look like without him. For years, he has been a dominant force. Now, as discussions of retirement swirl, there is speculation about whether this decision comes at the right time or if there's still more to achieve. The transition from an active career to retirement is often challenging for fighters. Some believe stepping away now allows for a legacy untarnished by unnecessary risks, while others think the competitive drive that fuels champions might lead to a return. The idea of leaving behind the adrenaline of the ring and the roar of the crowd is a difficult one even for the most accomplished athletes. Questions also arise about the void left in the division. His presence brought excitement and intrigue to every matchup, elevating the sport and inspiring a new generation. Without his larger-than-life personality and exceptional skills, there's uncertainty about who will step into the role of the dominant figure in heavyweight boxing. While retirement signals the end of one chapter, it also opens the door for new opportunities, whether it's mentoring the next generation, focusing on personal growth, or exploring ventures outside the ring. This marks a significant turning point as the boxing world reacts. The sentiment remains unanimous. His impact on the sport is undeniable, and his absence will be deeply felt. After his recent fight, Tyson Fury was asked by a reporter about his future plans in boxing. In typical Fury fashion, the heavyweight champion gave a straightforward response: his heading home to rest. This simple yet telling remark has left fans into the ring can be overwhelming even for someone as accomplished as Fury. Taking time to recover and reflect. Fury often keeps his next moves close to his chest, his focus on rest, big fight, or the beginning of the end for Fury's time in the ring, with talks of potential rematches and other high-profile bouts swirling in the background. Fury's next steps will undoubtedly shape the heavyweight division's landscape. For now, the boxing world waits as Fury steps back from the spotlight to recharge. Whether he's plotting a return to the ring or considering retirement, one thing is clear: Tyson Fury's journey remains one of the most compelling narratives in the sport today. Only time will reveal what's next for the Gypsy King. Former world champion Carl Fr has weighed in on the speculation surrounding Tyson Fury's potential retirement. Fr suggested that Fury might decide to step away from boxing, but acknowledged the allure of one last blockbuster bout. A possible rubber match against Anthony Joshua, Fr noted, could generate significant attention and solidify Fury's legacy. Fr's remarks come in the aftermath of Fury's recent defeat to Oleksandr Usyk, a fight that many viewed as a pivotal moment in Fury's career. While Fr emphasized that the loss wasn't devastating, he recognized that it marks a second blemish on Fury's otherwise stellar record. For a fighter who has long touted his undefeated status as a symbol of his dominance, the defeat could weigh heavily on his decision to continue. Before the fight, Fury exuded his trademark confidence, taunting Usyk and declaring himself the true champion. Fr pointed out how the champion has always thrived on big challenges and high-stakes fights. The prospect of a showdown with Anthony Joshua remains a tantalizing possibility. Fr believes that the allure of such insights reflect the complexity of a career at the crossroads where legacy, pride, and opportunity all collide.
We're actually really good friends, but I agree with what he said there. He'd like to see Usyk, see the rubber match between him and AJ. But Tyson, I don't know how he's going to take that. That was another not devastating loss, but it's another loss. And on the build-up there, when he was giving Usyk some beef and saying, "I'm the champion, you're effing this and you're effing that and you rabbit," and he was getting wound up, you could see that.
Carl Fr offered a candid and layered analysis of Tyson Fury's possible retirement, addressing the emotional and professional challenges Fury faces following consecutive defeats to Oleksandr Usyk. Fr's remarks touch on the mental strain such losses can impose, particularly on a fighter as proud and accomplished as Fury. Fr highlighted Fury's demeanor in the lead-up to his rematch with Usyk, noting how visibly agitated he appeared. Fury's fiery confidence, marked by taunts and expletive-filled declarations of dominance, revealed not just his competitive spirit but also the pressure he placed on himself to maintain his status as the heavyweight division's king. According to Fr, Usyk back-to-back victories over Fury now cast a shadow over his legacy, raising the question of whether Fury can reconcile these defeats and step away from the sport with dignity. Despite Fury's wealth and familial support, Fr suggested that these external comforts might not be enough to soothe the sting of losing his place at the top of the boxing world while £100 million provides financial security. FR emphasized that true fulfillment comes from personal contentment, something he believes Fury must rediscover outside the ring. However, Froch also acknowledged a different side of Fury's personality, one that thrives on the competition and limelight of boxing. Referring to Fury's Netflix documentary, FR observed how much the Gypsy King spotlight and the thrill of competition. Ultimately, FR's comments reveal both admiration for Fury's achievements and an understanding of the emotional crossroads he now faces, whether Fury chooses to retire or take on new challenges. FR hopes he can navigate this chapter of his life with grace and satisfaction.
He actually's got a bit of hatred for Usyk there in the bank, which is going to soften the blow. But bottom line is, money shouldn't be your king. You should be contented with your family. He's got a lot of kids. You should be able to enjoy your life and move on. But just from what I've seen him in the Netflix documentary, he loves fighting and he loves being the champ. He loves being on top. So I sincerely hope Tyson Fury can cope with that loss, the back-to-back defeats, and walk away with his chin held high and smile, because he's had a great career and he's been a great champion. He's been an unbelievable character for the sport of boxing. I wouldn't blame him, actually, if he jumped in with AJ and took the rubber match, because it's a fight that will sell. It will fill Wembley. I don't know if they'll get 80,000 in there, but it will get a big crowd at Wembley Stadium, and that will be a sign-off payday.
In a recent TalkSport podcast, Simon Jordan and the hosts dove into the hot topic of Tyson Fury's future and what lies ahead for the heavyweight superstar. The conversation began with skepticism about Fury's potential retirement. One host expressed doubt, arguing that Fury's history and persona suggest he won't walk away from the sport just yet if good money is at stake. He will come back, they posited, emphasizing Fury's knack for seizing lucrative opportunities. The idea that Fury thrives on challenges and the allure of the spotlight adds weight to the argument that is far from finished with boxing. Shifting the focus to Oleksandr Usyk, Fury's music as a source of inspiration. Kuk highlighted the dignity and motivation Usyk brings to the sport. This admiration underscores Usyk's impact not just as a competitor but as a symbol of resilience and excellence. The hosts also debated Usyk's place in box history. Simon Jordan stated that while Usyk might not be the greatest fighter ever, he is unquestionably the greatest of his generation. Another host agreed, pointing to Usyk's achievements, becoming an undisputed cruiserweight champion, an undisputed heavyweight champion, and earning multiple victories over elite opponents like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. They acknowledge that Usyk's dominance leaves little else for him to prove, solidifying his legacy as one of the sport's most accomplished fighters. As the conversation circled back to Fury, the hosts emphasized how his next move toward Fury staying active with lucrative fights and the hunger for competition likely drawing him back into the ring. The TalkSport discussion underscored the pivotal moment in heavyweight boxing, with Usyk cementing his place as the best of this era and Fury standing at a crossroads. The future of the division remains as
money is at stake. He will come. I think he's not retiring, for sure.
How proud are you of Oleksandr?
Absolutely proud. There is no such word. I can't actually find the word in English to say what I really am. But let's choose very, very, very extremely proud.
He has such dignity, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Every time he speaks, every time he appears.
Yes. He's like a son. When I come to his aura, I feel motivation, I feel incentive to live, to be happy and things like that.
Simon Jordan discusses Tyson Fury's greatness as his prime, especially as he reaches the later stages of his career. He highlights the fact that Fury's performance today may not be the same as it was when he defeated Vladimir Klitschko in 2015, where he showcased exceptional footwork and movement that made him a formidable opponent. Jordan suggests that as fighters age, they inevitably adapt their styles, and while Fury may not be the same as he was in his earlier years, he remains a top-tier competitor, despite acknowledging that Fury is not the same fighter he was. Performances, including his victory over a worthy opponent in a recent fight, as evidence of his continued excellence in the ring. The fight was a highly anticipated one, and Jordan emphasizes that it was a great spectacle for fans. However, Jordan does not shy away from discussing moments in the bout that raise questions, such as a potential low blow earlier in the fight which led to a 4-minute stoppage. He points out that in street fights such interruptions wouldn't be allowed, so the extended break seemed unusual, though it is permissible for boxers to have up to 5 minutes to recover from an accidental low blow. Further discussing the fight, Jordan expresses his thoughts about the stoppage, stating that he felt it may have been prolonged unnecessarily, which could have skewed the flow of the fight. While he agrees with the rules surrounding low blows, he questions whether they were strictly adhered to in this case and whether it impacted the fight's outcome. He declined. This dialogue highlights both Fury's enduring talent and the ongoing debate surrounding the evolution of his boxing style as he progresses through his career.
Is he slightly past his best now at this age of his career? And we haven't seen the Tyson Fury that we saw beat, let's say, Klitschko back in 2015. That is for sure, where he was light on his feet, a lot of movement, but as guys get older, they adapt and, they change their styles, whatever. Fury's a great fighter still undoubtedly number 2 in the world. I mean, it was a great fight there on Saturday night.
Look, if you're fighting in the street, you don't get 4 minutes, do you, to tidy yourself up?